My name is Dr. Pedro Portillo. I've been a member of the Holy Tabernacle Ministry for 19 years. I started out in New York. I came here from Trinidad, West Indies for the teachings of the Grand Master, Dr. Malachi Z. York. Since then, I've been through the many schools of higher learning as a member of the Holy Tabernacle Ministry. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce God in person, our Grand Master, Dr. Malachi Z. York.
The New World Order, as the brother said, has been in existence when the secrets was made like people like Napoleon Bonaparte, who were all Freemasons. When they found out that the Bible and the Torah was just a stories copied from the ancient Egyptian mysteries, and they set up the floor of the lodge, and they brought the lodge together by bringing people to order in the court. The court is the square yard, the courtyard. Order in the court. You understand what I'm saying? Once they removed God out of their minds, then the New World Order was in. You're dealing with people that will say, in God we trust. You follow that? Listen to this statement. It does not mean that God controls the affairs of my life. It does not mean that I depend on God. It does not even mean I believe in God. It means in God we trust. And who is that referring to? Not the people who are judging. Therefore, not the judge. It has to be who? The person on trial. You know why? Because if the judge believed in God we trust, he wouldn't call himself a judge. God would be the judge. And there's an answer for every crime written in that Bible. They will make you put your hand on the Bible and swear oath. And you either left or right or left. You know what I mean by that? If you put your right hand on the Bible, then you got to raise your left hand. Or you got to put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. So the deception of principle is already taking place. Because one or the other is wrong. So when he takes the law in his own hand and sentences a person to death, he violates the commandment, thou shalt not kill. The judge becomes a killer. But in his world, in the New World Order of things, in Freemasonry, if you violate the secrecy, it is all right to take your life. That's part of the religion. And that's called oath you take when you join, that you promise to keep his secrets or surrender your life. So that's the order under which they sentence you to death. And only call it a capital punishment because the head of the capital has to declare. So it moves from the judge to the president. Capital punishment. A martial system, which is the military system. So when they sentence someone to death and get in the gas chamber, they know they're going against the Bible. See, the difference is their understanding of the Bible is different than yours. Their understanding of Jesus is different than yours. Their understanding of Moses, when they hear the name Solomon, they break the word down to Sol, on, and on. Sol, son, on, the Hindu deity, and on, the Egyptian deity. Everything is broken down to triads. That means 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Person, places, things. All the lots, 3 degrees. You understand? Everything. They do not follow the instructions they give you. They are an exception to the law. So when you start reading the Bible, and you don't know nothing about the ancient Hebrew language, you are in a bad position. And this is why If anybody did any traveling, you'll find that most countries you go into, everybody speaks more than one language except America. There's one of the few countries where everybody speaks one language. And if you are born of Latino or Hispanic descent, they will try to make you stop speaking Spanish. Won't give you a job. Refuse to let you speak Arabic, Amharic, whatever your language, they want you to stop speaking it and speak English and get your mind trapped in English. Because they control the phonetics of English. They control the emotional state of people by English. If you're watching television, they can't subliminally seduce you if you don't understand what they're saying. So it's important that they're concentrating. And when they say they want to introduce to you Ebonics, that's reverse psychology. They're doing that because this will make us against Ebonics and try to make us go to court to enforce English. And then once Ebonics, listen to me close now, once Ebonics has been overthrown, then they can come back and say, now what about Spanish? They've been trying to make this country one language. You understand? But we got too many immigrants, too many different languages. So the only way to get a law into Congress to get all these other languages out without looking like they anti-United Nations is to fabricate something called Ebonics. And I know and you know we really don't want our children talking Ebonics. So we will come out for a good fight if we like to start revolutions. So we will come out and start protesting by the middle of the summer about Ebonics. And once it's entered into the law that English is the standard language of this country and that we don't need dialects, then what will they do? All the signs in Chinatown have to be changed to English. Everybody who comes in the country from, let's say, Dominican Republic or Cuba has to learn how to speak English. About that, you won't even hear the word that's no more. If you do speak Spanish, yeah, it's nice to know. That's the Lord to speak the language. You follow? Now, who's doing that? Who's doing it? Not the Jew. Because see, the Jew falls into the bilingual game. He still has his Yiddish and his Hebrew being spoken. But he lost the country. There's a war going on under your nose that you don't even know anything about. The blonde hair, blue eyes are fighting the red hair, green eyes. The Irish, they are now fighting the other Caucasians. Look on television, all the women got the red hair all of a sudden. What happened to the beauty blonde hair, blue eyes? They lost the country. The Jews bring in the blonde hair, blue eyes because the Jews are Hitler lovers. The Irish aren't. See, the Irish are cowboys. So now the country's saturated with what? Country western music. I tried to get y'all up there when it was happening by putting on cowboy clothes, so when the transition came over, it wouldn't bother y'all. Oh, niggas and cowboy, that's nice. I knew what I was doing. It wasn't no coincidence. I watched the transformation. I told people around me, the country's getting ready to shake hands. The Jews have lost power. The Irish are coming back to power. The Irish hate you more than anybody. They're the ones in this country, they were jealous because you got the job. But yet, he got the dirty job when he came here. Because they wouldn't give you a dirty job because you cost too much money. So they wouldn't let you go climb up on the bridges way up and high. They said the Native American Irish are there. They wouldn't let you work inside the mine because the mine would collapse and you would die. And you cost some money, slavery was expensive. And you know what the sponsor was saying, Sears. Sears and Roebuck, their first catalog was a catalog of slaves. It had nothing to do with what Sears has right now. The whole catalog Sears set up was the person who made a catalog selling different type of niggas. I can get you the all light niggas you want or short catalog. Like this. That's Sears and Roebuck catalog really was. Better wake up, there's a massive deception going on. We don't have time to play. The best thing that's happening to us right now is the fact that they're beating happy hell out of each other. They're going off. I told y'all, at the end of their rule, they're losing their mind. Every day you turn on women and kill their babies. Throwing babies out the babies, drowning babies, killing their babies, all kinds of stuff. They ain't doing that, they're blowing up buildings. We don't blow up buildings, we ain't got no bombs. When they had the Obama church in their head, they said, uh-oh, the Muslims did it. Muslims ain't got no bombs. You have a hard time getting 22. Because if any I want to buy 100 pounds of dynamite. Before we got down the block, I'd be all over it. But a Canaanite, or Amorite, as called the Bible, Caucasian, they can go in there and buy anything they want. That's real. And the trick is, again, the New World Order is when they came in into a different system of belief pertaining to the Bible. They thought of that? Then they set up the orders, the Knights of Columbus, the Rosicrucians, the Freemasons, the Alhambra, the Irish Shrine. All these are the orders that we're talking about when they speak of the New World Order. And the Prince Hall Lodge of Black UNA. They're not telling you none of it. And I know that I walked through it, the whole thing. I walked through it. And I walked through it knowing more than they were teaching. Looking at it. And then watching the game. They don't tell the Prince Hall Mason nothing. They got to walk through that archway before they get any information. They walk through that world arch, that's when they ask them, do they want to get inducted into the higher order? And the Nubians, they don't tell you yet. But if you go back and look at the Shrine Manual, when the first Nubian was inducted into the shrine, there was 130 of them. You know what it says there? 130 Nubians, not Black Americans. Was inducted in Chicago in the 18th century. Right in the manual, 130 Nubians, not Negroes, not Moors. We're Moors also. Well, that's us. Not Africans, which is Nubians. But they literally have in the Shrine Manual Nubians. Understand? And if they are the elite of intelligence of all their society, women, then they see you as Nubians. When you step out of the realm of ignorance and into the light of the Freemasonry, when you came out the desert sand, you follow that and stand on solid ground, then you become a Nubian. Now, don't believe me. Go ask the Shrine and tell the truth. Or go look it up in Chicago in 1875, when they first had their first meeting at a methodology called. Oh, and they say 130 Nubians. Why would the Shriners and the Freemasons, the elite of intelligence on earth, refer to you as Nubians, if you're a Shantae, if you're Islamic Hebrew, if you're a Hebrew Israelite? Why would they say Nubian? They know the culture is around the Nubian. Why would Marcus Garvey raise a Nubian flag and then tell you all the Black American flag? He raised a black, red, and green flag, or a red, black, and green flag. And if you go to Nubia today, in Aswan, in Karnak, in Nubia, in Lower, what they call Lower Southern Egypt, but you know, you go there today and go amongst the Ansars, you'll see a black, red, and green flag with a white spear crescent. They were using it since the Mahdi's time, who was born in 1845. Right? So that flag was over there in a place called Nubia or Sudan before Marcus Garvey got it from Bruce Ali, who was a Sudanese who was living in Egypt as a general. So Bruce Ali, he was responsible from the teachings of Marcus Garvey, Noble Garvey, Master Prophet Muhammad, Daddy Grace, Father Divine, all of them was under that same lodge. The Sultan's Lodge, they call it. All of them belonged to the same lodge. They go to the same Masonic temple. At the time it was called the Oddfellow Temple in Chicago. That's where the Nation of Islam had their first meeting. All gathered there. They referred to you as Nubians. That meant Egyptian. Nubian, covered Hamites, Cushites, Mizrahites, Puthites, all that Bible, all the Bible tribes you find in Genesis chapter 10, they would call you that. You want to call yourself Israelite. Israelite is another one of the words. Isis, Ra, and El. Israel. Isis, Ra, and El. They don't use Isis. They use Imnanat, Ishtar, Dina, the symbol of the crescent and star, the Danites, the crescent, Samson, a Danite. What was Samson's mother's name? Merab, Hebrew. Merab. You know what that is? Mary. She was a virgin. Read the fact. She gave birth as a virgin, but the Hebrew word meant young woman. And he was to save his people. And he had supernatural strength of God incarnate. Of Nazareth, the Bible says. Jesus of Nazareth. And his father, whose name is Manoah, came home and asked his wife, how did you get pregnant? And she said, an angel came to me and impregnated me. And he didn't believe it. And you think I'm telling you stories that you can't read? It's in Judges. Read the 13th chapter. It's there. Read it and you'll see it. He came and went out and looked for the angel and said, did you impregnate my wife? Doesn't that sound like the same thing that happened with Mary? And Joseph? And you think they're lying? You look in your book of Luke, or when Jesus was back in Jerusalem at age 13, right? Teaching in the temple. What did Mary say to him? Let everybody know? Yeah. Why have you done this to me and your father, Jesus? And Jesus' answer was, you know I must be about my father's work to my spiritual father. But Mary did not say, why have you done this to me and your stepfather? Mary said, why have you done this to me and your father, Jesus? And Jesus said, you know I must be about my father. But what father was he talking about then? He was not talking about Father on earth, but he said, our Father who art in heaven. He was talking about his heavenly Father. Don't we all call him our heavenly Father? Oh, yeah. But Mary thought Joseph was the father. Not herself. Now Mary, the one that got pregnant, and Mary gave birth to the child. Mary identified Joseph. Again, when the Nazarite came and they said, who is he? Oh, he is the carpenter's son. Joseph the carpenter's son. The people around there who lived around Jesus said, oh, you are Joseph's son. That's Joseph's boy. They didn't figure it that way. I'm saying that to say, when are we going to get it back? When are we going to give them back the service? Because when are we going to stand on our own feet and do some research about ourselves? And I bet you, please don't get mad at me when I'm talking about your Bible. But I bet you, standing here, and not one of y'all can stand up here and walk the Bible with me. I bet you, I'll start from Genesis to you, you won't know the first word. Don't get mad at me because I'm your brother. I'm your brother sent here for you to straighten out this mess. Because you know how bad it's getting? It's getting so bad that we got Yahweh and Yahweh over here, my brother. Marathon over here, my brother. Reverend Price over here, my brother. And all of them are pulling us in different directions. And everybody is right. Everybody is so right and exact because nobody puts them on the spot. We got Muslim sects multiplying in America. Shia, Sunni, Ahmadiyya. Now we got the Baha'i. We got the Moors. We got the Ansarullah. Then each one of those sects of Sunni break up into schools of thought. You understand? We got the black Jews, the Hebrew Israelites, the Israelite Hebrews, the Hebrew church. Then the brothers who went over to with Ben Carter, and they're over there living in it, you'll get the views. Then we have our brothers, the Rastafarians. And then the Ethiopian Coptic Church. Here in America. What is it? Diversity. Divide and conquer. They keep putting us down and nobody stands up. No one stands up and points the finger at people. You know why? Because if I stand in front of a Muslim brother of mine and start pointing the finger, he wants to hurt me physically. Or he sends out some clone or some nerd and says, we gotta kill that man. Don't kill me, prove me wrong. Let me live, prove me wrong. Not that I want to live with you. Because I know you're killing me because you want to shut me up. Because you think if you shut me up, I won't get to the people. Because I will reach my people in time. That's right. This movement will waffle. This movement will waffle. Movement on the planet right now. We just opened up a new temple in Ghana, in Nigeria, in South Africa. We are spreading everywhere now. We just opened new in Barbados, in Haiti, in Jamaica, and they don't hear They won't let us in. We're on our way. It's a little bit touchy right now here. They won't let you in. It's all right. And they're afraid of you. You know why? Because I'm not a leader reading flunkies. I'm a teacher. So stay out of my house. And stay out of my business. But you can never follow any of your school teachers going and getting their business. My brother wants to stand up and get holy and down, and he don't make no mistake. That is his prerogative. And you have a right to get in his business then. Because he's saying, I'm so holy. I'm so spiritual. I'm so righteous. I can't make any mistake. Then you have every right to question. But a person stands up and says, I am your brother. I shoot the basketball. I could miss the rim. You with me? Like I just did for fun here. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to approach this thing this time, our last time, from a different angle. The approach this time is not for no preacher to stand up and start preaching to me about stuff he does not under or understand. I came in dismantling the language for you. But little things like you no longer want to understand anything. You want to now overstand things. People say, what do you mean? There's no such word. But there's a word oversight though, huh? There's an undersight in English and an oversight. But when I introduce the word overstanding, you say, no, you can't do that. Why can't I? You did it. In other words, I have to wait for you to create it to use it. No. I'm not here. Women, it's time for you people to question your leaders, question your teachers, question. I have never said believe me. I said the word believe is to lie to Eve's children, to believe, lie to Eve's children. Where that happens at? Right in the book of Genesis, where they say the devil is going to be out for the seed of the woman. She's out for our, he's out for our woman. If he can tear her down, he can tear us down. But they are backbone as bad as you pretend they are. And if you go back to ancient Egypt, you see the woman was the backbone. When did he turn us against our women and against our men? When he's not against his woman, his woman controls him. His wife is controlling him. You with me? So this is the day and time when you have to open that mind and start to question people. And don't care who gets mad at you. When a Muslim stands up and says to you, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lahu, say, wait a minute. Hold, wahdahu la sharika lahu, what does that mean? Boy, brother, it means out there when there is no God but Allah, and he alone has no partner. Let me see that word for word. Let me see where you got that from. And why do you have to say it? Why do I have to say, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasul? Why do I have to keep saying it if it's true? Why do I have to establish that there's only one God if there's only one God? You understand? Is it necessary? It ain't necessary. What is a reality? And that reality is what makes people hate you. The way they hated me. Because when I first started teaching in this country, they hated my guts. They attempted my assassination maybe 50 times. Brothers and sisters, the old acts are the same. They tried everything from assassination to a gun to poison. But the Lord didn't have it arranged that way. That's right. He wanted me to get at least to this day and time when you have reached the point where you're starting to open up. And see that I am not your enemy no more than Christ was when he came amongst a whole bunch of people that was under the rule of another people who had them convinced you better not scratch against that system. Because if you do, you're going to lose your job and your house and everything else. Or Moshe. Look what he went through trying to get the children of Israel to leave oppression. Look what they put him through, his own people. All the way to the Red Sea. Read your Bible in Exodus again if you believe it. When he got there, before they could cross, they still were doubting Moshe. Musa. Utmost. Whatever name you want to give them, whatever culture you come from. They all come from. They did not believe him. How was Jesus received? With doubt. He said, you doubters. You vipers. He called them. You snakes. But he said, I come to my own. And my own received me not. Anybody in this room right now who's a Christian, who thinks in their mind dying, and I am building my way up to saying I'm Jesus, you're wrong. Because that's what y'all like to think. By the way, when someone sounds like they're saying something, oh, he will say Jesus. You wrong. I'm not going to say I'm Jesus. I am not Jesus. I could not be Jesus. You understand? Because if I was Jesus, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It would already be over. I wouldn't be here trying to tell you to get it together, but when he comes, it will be together. That's according to what you believe. There would be them sins going on over the world right now. Buses crashing, innocent people dying. But I tell you this, if you believe that your God is protecting you, you a fool. You know why? Because people are dying daily. This pilgrimage in Mecca and Hajj, people died while making the pilgrimage. When I was in Mecca, people were dying. While we were there, they were carrying people out on stretchers. They died from dehydration. Old people come there and lay up against the Kaaba and die. You understand? Planes are crashing every day. And you know the sad part about that? Those individuals that get out the plane are so demonic in their beliefs that they say, thank God I made it. The heck with all those other people that died. When they see the people coming from the plane, my relatives who survived, I run up and grab my brother. I'm so happy you made it. I don't care nothing about your brother, your aunt, your uncle, anybody else who died. What teaches us to think like that? Don't tell me that's no God. No God teaches me to feel like, now that somebody in my family dies of cancer, now I start studying about cancer. Now that somebody in my family dies of AIDS, now I know all about AIDS. What does that to us? What makes us go? That's not our natural way. We are tribal people. He knows we're tribal people. That's why he got laws like unlawful assembly. Because he knows when we start, assembling in groups, something is ruined. And Dr. Martin Luther King Day, right up there in Atlanta, when groups of brothers are standing in the corner, the police come to get your picture, huh? They call us to gather on his day, and when we gather, they get so scared they take your picture. Somebody might be in there thinking. They're afraid of this thing every time. And this is the last time. Because not only are we on our last hope, they're on their last hope. Their system, their world is falling apart. Every day people are leaving churches. Why? Because it doesn't fulfill the spiritual needs. And when you left the church, the first thing you ran is the mosque. Everybody became black Muslims and blue Muslims and this kind of Muslim. And then when that didn't suffice, you broke off and created a little set. But you never let me in. As an African, born in Africa, you would not accept me. You would accept a Pakistani Imam, an Egyptian who don't want to be an African, a Moroccan who don't want to be an African, a Saudi Arabian who's half Indian, half something else, half Turkish, but never an African. Now Imams are coming to America now from Africa because Islam is failing. And now they're saying we need some help. So now it's not giving the Christianity sectors over here. Right? They got millions of followers now, they don't need to be here. Senegalese are coming in now. Malians are coming here. They don't need to be here for this. They now are welcome. They still don't let my people see the need come. They won't let us in here. You know why? Because we come in with a red, black, and green flag, not a red, white, and blue flag. We come in with the traditional Ethiopian Colossian dress of a long white robe and turban. They see that Israeli link and that Hebrew connection, they want to know what it is. Coming with Egyptian traditions and customs in our land, from our land, your land. We're different kind of Muslim in them. And that's why they hated the Ansar Allah community. That's why they hated me. Because they couldn't pin me down as one of them. That Imam Isa's crazy. That was Imam Isa sometime and Dr. York sometime and that old disco singer other time. Depending how they felt. But I was crazy. He got his own faith. They're innovators, deviators from the basic fundamentals of Islam. Say, excuse me, what is the fundamentals of Islam? I said, Khamsa Shahadati. What is Khamsa Shahadati? The 5 pillars of faith. Excuse me, sir. We're talking about my soul. I'm not building a house. Don't give me no metaphor. Talk directly to me. I'm a spiritual person. I don't need to hear a metaphor. I need to hear a fact. What is Islam going to do for me as a people in a Christian country but get me hit upside the head? Comes down to make salah, prayer. I'm in the middle of work. I can't walk up to this non-Muslim boss of mine and say, excuse me, sir, but it's around 12 o'clock. I got to make salah for Dhuhr. You say, what? I got to make salah for Dhuhr. My new bread, they make new bread in your butt like a what? Or I get fired. Come around to Shahbul Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, I got to fast for 30 days. How am I going to be a construction worker, swinging a sledgehammer, and I'm hungry, and I'm thirsty? Is this practical thinking? No. It don't work for us. It's a beautiful gesture. It is one of our cultures, Islam. It was ours when it was pristine and pure. But when those demons got into it and turned it into the sexism and the cult, and now you know what they doing? They beat each other up. Iraq fighting Iran. We wasn't doing that in our religion. And Islam wasn't fair. It came to us from our brothers on the other side who brought it over there. We were already there. With cultures. We were Yoruba. We had our family Arishi, Ogun, Obadala, Yemaya. Our families, deities that were us, look like us, walk like us, talk like us, and live. And all of them meant something to us, and it meant something to nature and surroundings. You know what they did that? They turned that into devil worship. Right. They said, if you say that you acknowledge the sun for all it gives you, and the water and the seed, and Mother Earth for growing the food, you know what they say? Oh, that's that New Age something. Something wrong with you. But I have to say that I believe that a woman was walking through Jerusalem, minding her business. And an apparition in the form of a spirit, who they gave an Egyptian name, because you know Geb is the father of Osiris. Geb, G-E-B. Now add the L on it. Gabriel, okay? And Osiris was the father of Horus. And Horus means horizon, the sun coming up, resurrection. You know, you die when the sun sets, and you rise when the sun rises. Something that does not really happen, so it's a metaphor to an incident. Because we know the sun does not set. The planet's moving. There's your Jesus story. Again, the strongest form of dispelling us is to pull us away from the realities of ourselves. And give us something we think is helping us. Because you know what? Your great-grandfather said, give me that old-time music too. Your great-grandmother said, give me that Jesus. That Jesus will help me. And he did not stop the KKK from crucifying or hanging or castration. Their great fear of penis envy. You know where it comes from? You want to know? Did you do something? You promise to research it? Huh? It comes from the temples of Karnak. Karnak. That's K. They might have in their dictionary as a C to make it different. That's way down in Luxor, where the Nubians are. And it comes from the god Amun. Amun. Called the hidden one. You with me? You got that? Amun? Amun's other name was Min. M-I-N. Min. You understand? Write these things down. This Amun, who's also called Min, his deity was called Hu. The creative force of will in ancient Egypt. Hu. When you put Hu and Min together, you get human. And it is in Egypt, but not in the Christian. But it's there. Don't, what am I saying? Don't believe me. I ain't finished though. In his temple, the biggest temple in all of Egypt, built by us, on the walls, they show men. Can we talk here? Yeah. Standing there in his hand was a frill, and in his left hand was his penis. Anybody know about that? Yeah. It was a symbol that men who was Amun, like Ra, Amun-Ra, was responsible for original creation. Here's how they worded ancient Egypt in the Mystery tablets. That nature was at a tumbling force beyond gender. And with inside nature a deity aroused. This is a story now. That's how it happened. Right? And that deity was alone and wanted to create from itself. So it took itself in hand and spat forth the seed of life. This is written in our writings. And they show statues of him standing there, a proud, strong man with a frill in his hand and his penis in his other hand. And all the priests of Amun, they met in the inner sanctum, sacred temple, 3 degrees in. The courtyard, the middle chamber, and the sacred or holy of holies. Sound like the Masonic lodge again? That's right. And in there they had what they refer to as reproduction symbolism. And on the walls and on the pictures, they have penises extended like this, drawings like this. That's all this, you can go see it. I mean, if you want to stay after class, I'll put the film on so you can see it on videotape. Or you get to catch the next people when you come. You understand? I mean, it's not bold, it's not disgusting. It's where they get their penis envy. It's why they told the German women that we had tails. Did y'all know that, you young folks? Yeah. That the Nubians over there, they told them the black men had tails. When they came there, the white women were looking for the tails. This is true. This is what they've done to you. This is where that starts. And this is why, here in the South, they didn't just hang and lynch your great-grandfather in them, they also castrated. Because their greatest fear is our reproductive ability. That's why they say, oh, they produce like rats. That's why they always got to say the biggest mistake Michael Jackson could have been made in all his career was grabbing himself. They talked about that over and over and over. Ice grabbed himself, the Caucasian rapper. There's no mention of that. But that's what Michael Jackson did, and he was on his way from black to white. God, it was a big thing. All black men stand around holding stuff. All black men don't stand around holding stuff. And those that do are holding stuff, they know you're trying to steal everything from us, you might steal that. These are realities. It's our own way of life that we got lost from. We don't do nothing about it. We have to get to the root of why we're hated. Why we're abused. Because sometimes you sit home and say, what have I done to these people to make them treat me so bad? Right. Some of us love them more than we love ourselves. Right. I call those people stretchers. Hello. Stretchers. You know what a stretch is? A stretch is a Nubian man or woman who takes their hair and stretches it back like this. And as the sun starts to rise, the natural curl goes. But that's a sign that we love them more than we love ourselves. When we see a brother or sister with locks, which they falsely refer to as dreadlocks, we should not dread our locks. Oh, right away, he must be some dope dealer. He must be some. There's a whole bunch of stereotypes. When the brothers from Jamaica came home and tried to help you here in America, they thought you was Jerry on the back, walking down the street, and they told you about letting your hair go natural like a lion's mane. You got mad at them, called them drug dealers, and was going along with the system. And then they made a movie, The Predator, and said, see, the Predator got dread. That's all part of the subliminal destruction, not subliminal seduction. Subliminal seduction is a lustful attack. Subliminal destruction is a mental attack.